Can somebody help me understand what the hell is going on with Catholics in this country? In particular, those Catholics that are in support of the ethnic cleansing ICE is carrying out against immigrants in the United States, many of whom are Catholic. Now, I know that ICE czar Tom Homan is a devout Catholic, and months ago there were calls for him to be excommunicated. There have been multiple instances of ICE abducting immigrants on Catholic Church property. The Catholic Church has given permission for Catholics who are at risk of being abducted by ICE to worship from home. The Pope has called for deep reflection on how Catholics in the United States are treating migrants. The United States Conference of Catholic Bishops has been opposed to the actions of ICE. In fact, earlier this year, they voted 216-5. Maybe this message is for the 5 bishops who voted against, in which they said that they were concerned about the conditions in detention centers. They are troubled by the threats against the sanctity of houses of worship, against hospitals and schools. They are lamenting the way that immigrants are being treated by ICE, and they are grieved by the conditions under which immigrant children are living in this country, where they cannot go to school without fear of their parents being snatched. You should go read the whole message. It's quite compelling. But in spite of all of this, right, why are so many Catholics like in the Tom Homan Club? A couple of days ago, someone left this comment here: Worcester, Massachusetts College of Holy Cross is holding an ICE recruitment event. We are livid and calling the president. Now, this was 4 days ago, and I do have an update. So Homeland Security had a recruitment event at Holy Cross College in Worcester, Massachusetts, and more than 100 students and professors and alumni of the college turned out as soon as they heard that this was going to happen. They stood in protest with signs that said "No ICE" at Holy Cross. Because of the outcry and the pushback from folks in the community, the president, Vincent Rougeau, sent a letter to the campus community that said that information session today for students registered will be held via Zoom. He didn't cancel it, though. The president still allowed the college to host an ICE recruitment event. In 2025 America, when ICE is snatching, abducting Catholics, do y'all not have solidarity with your own peeps? Do y'all not have affection, obligations, compassion for your own people, your fellow Catholics? This is a Jesuit school who is inviting ICE to recruit. I'm really confused. I understand that I am a former Calvinist Presbyterian Church in America, so I could not be any further from Catholicism. So maybe there's something I'm missing here. However, there are so many Catholics who are speaking out against what is happening. There are so many Catholic members of the clergy who are condemning the actions of ICE, who are escorting immigrants to court, who are protesting. Because it's not right. It's not right. And I'm so frustrated to see multiple instances of Catholics and schools associated with Catholics take up a deeply, deeply concerning position. And maybe there's something I'm missing about a particular element of Catholic subculture. I actually wanted to talk about this way back on Halloween, because there was a Catholic school in Pennsylvania. I had to go look it up. It was St. Joseph Catholic School in Hanover, Pennsylvania, who had their children march alongside and ride on a Halloween parade float that had a replica of the gate to Auschwitz on it. And before you tell me, "Oh, Angela, you're just exaggerating," it literally had the words "Arbeit macht frei" on the front of it. Those words mean work makes you free. They were adopted and used at Dachau in 1933 and later spread around the concentration camps. It was on the front gate of Auschwitz. You don't accidentally create a replica of the gate of Auschwitz and put it on your child's Catholic school Halloween parade float. Do you know how many people had to see that and approve that? Why did nobody at the school, nobody at the parade in Hanover, Pennsylvania be like, hey, this is not cool. What the fuck were you doing? So many people along the way were like, nah, it's cool. We're down with overt Nazi symbolism being used by a Catholic school and paraded in front of an entire town. Now, to be fair, the next day, Bishop Timothy Sr. of the Diocese of Harrisburg came out condemning this float. He said the inclusion of this image, one that represents the horrific suffering and murder of millions of innocent people, including 6 million Jews during the Holocaust, is profoundly offensive and unacceptable. On behalf of the Diocese of Harrisburg, I express my sincere apology to our Jewish brothers and sisters and to all who were offended and hurt by this display. I strongly condemn the inclusion of this symbol on the float. He went on to say he would work with the school community to review the approval process to prevent such a grievous incident from happening again. Again, loads of folks saw this and everyone was okay with it. It's also really important that we understand that this kind of imagery being used is not only meant to be anti-Semitic, it's not only straight up Nazi propaganda, it is an approval of what ICE is doing, engaging in similar tactics, carrying out an ethnic cleansing against immigrants in this country. It is the Nazi playbook. ICE are the American Gestapo. In a year where the Trump regime is abducting immigrants here with legal status, asylum status, green card status, work visas, American citizens, and stuffing them into concentration camps like Alligator Auschwitz, the choice by parents in Pennsylvania to create a float with a concentration camp as the theme, that was intentional. And it was about far more than just hearkening back to that terrible period in Germany's past. It was also about the terrible period we are living through right now. It was absolutely an approval of what ICE was doing. There's no other way that I can see that. There's no other way that I can interpret that float made for a children's Halloween parade by a Catholic school. So please help me understand. I don't want to paint too broad of a brush. I understand there's billions of Catholics around the world, but help me understand, Catholics, what is going on with a chunk of your community, a chunk of your religious community where they are fine with abducting, brutalizing other Catholics? Where does this come from? What's going on here? And if you are a Catholic, I really encourage you to write to your leadership structure, your bishop, your Catholic schools, to have them come out in condemnation of what ICE is doing, in condemnation of the brutal, cruel, illegal tactics of this regime. They are unchristian, they are inhumane, and any person of faith has a moral obligation to speak out against it.